All right. Is everyone in from the Metacourt project, or were you expecting someone else? Okay, we have Dushan. Okay, cool. So it's only you guys, right? Only three.
Oh, Melissa will join as well.
Okay, cool. So we're gonna wait a little bit. I can see Faris is in. Hey Faris, how are you, man?
Hello, Alex.
How are you doing?
I'm excited to meet the new project.
I tell you, man, this project is gonna be awesome. Just wait.
How are you?
Pretty good. A little bit. I have the flu, the cold, but I'm fine.
I wanted to ask, how is your cold? Because I knew you were quite bad when you came back from your holiday. Well, work holiday.
It wasn't only a holiday, Faris.
Yeah,
but,
work holiday.
Okay. It's the same, man. The same cough, the same sore throat.
So maybe we start and Melissa will join us later. So
okay.
It's better to respect them.
No problem. I mean, whoever is, they can join on the way. It's no problem. Okay, so I think we can start. Hey everyone, my name is Alex. This is, I know it has been a while. However, just I wanted you to know that you will find on the pin messages specific updates that our team has put out, decisions, looking ahead to the future, and a lot of surprises. One of these surprises is actually tonight. But before that, I just want to say that Herity is here to stay. We have been very active in the past few months, making sure, to make sure that everything is done correctly. This evening, as I said, we have a special and unique project built on the Solana network. And from my opinion, this is just my opinion, is one of the best teams I have seen so far in our seed rounds. This, of course, this is my personal view. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm right, but in this specific industry, and especially their professional experience, is one that I have not seen till now. This evening, we have Dr. Mohammed Ashgari and the wonderful Metacourt team. As I said, one of the best teams I have seen so far on a project. I like the fact that most of the members are from all around the world, and this gives me confidence. And of course, they will receive a lot of exposure. I would like to point out that our dear Mr. McAvey, our dear CEO, is a backer for this interesting project. So if he's in, I'm in as well. So Dr. Ashgari, tell us a little bit about your project. Hopefully I did not mess up your name. And of course, if possible, for your team members to present themselves with maybe a short bio and what's their role within this wonderful team.
Okay.
So, hello everyone, and I'm quite happy that I'm tonight with you. I'm representing Metacourt. I'm actually coming from a legal and somehow technical background. I did my undergraduate degree, but I was very into interdisciplinary studies, so I choose to start my studies in information technology law back in 2010. So my LLM back in 2010 to 2012 in National University of Malaysia. And then I was lucky to start the European Commission Research Fellowship. That was like a PhD program that was supported, the research period that was supported by European Commission Erasmus funders. So I had a chance to in University of Bologna, University of Torino, University of Tilburg, and University Micolo Romero University in Lithuania. So basically, after my graduation, I was always do social entrepreneurship, and due to the information technology law and the PhD period, I become familiar with the concept of blockchain. Then cryptopreneurship became very important to me, and I started my the Metacourt project
team member
with the goal making justice accessible and available to everyone, and that's how the story began. I will ask my other friends to introduce themselves, and regarding the project, I will later the questions. I will try to respond to the project and how generally it's working.
Okay, the only problem here, Moha, is that your internet connection is very, very bad. We could barely hear you. I have heard a lot of university, a lot of expertise, but maybe you need to close your camera. Therefore, maybe the connection will be a little bit better.
Is it clear now? Okay. Okay, Dushan, you introduce yourself.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. My name is Dusan Pavlovic. I'm also, doctor of law, and I'm one of the established co-founders of this Metacourt project and general idea. My professional background, as already mentioned, is legal, and I, completed my formal education first of all in Serbia. Then later on, I actually obtained my LLM in IT law at Leibniz University, Hanover. Since 2013, I was working till 2018 at several European universities as a research fellow, and where I actually obtained my PhD in law science and technology. Formally obtained it at University of Bologna and Tilburg University in Netherlands. After the career in academia, I moved to industry, and where I still work in last 5-6 years. I have been working as a data protection consultant. First of all, in the gambling industry, and since the beginning of this year, I work as for actually two typical consultancy companies. One is actually involved in work with industry, another one in publicly funded projects on the European Union. Actually, I am some sort of the European Commission, formally. I'm actually working in projects supported the European Commission, and also I'm on the list of ethical evaluators of the European Commission. So this is basically about actually me, and just from the, let's say, last several years, I have been speaking with Mohammed a lot about needs for law, transformation of law, and how these actually idea of justice and implementation of law will be realized in a newly born environment that generally relates to emerging and developing technologies, including the latest or one of the latest ecosystems such as Metaverse. So this is in brief about me. Just I don't want to actually shift the story to the idea. Let's actually present the rest of the team, and later on we can speak more about our project.
That's good to hear. So I have just one question from the get-go. If I make something wrong in my life, take some bad decisions, you are the guys to call, right? You will save me from prison, correct?
If you actually made a bad decision, you will go to the prison. So first of all, lawyers do not serve to actually defend the criminals, just they have to implement the law in practice. But it sometimes happens that the lawyers could defend even the people who actually commit the crime. That is, in confrontation for justice. And, our general idea is actually how to, make justice more affordable and accessible in newly born environments such as Metaverse.
That's a good answer. That's a good answer.
You think?
Okay, perfect. So is your internet connection back, guys?
Yes. We are more
Good.
and better.
Perfect. So give us some insights about how the idea came out. What is Metacourt? Give us your story, guys. Please share with us how you came up with this idea and what you're trying to build, actually.
Okay. Generally speaking, I'm coming from legal industry. After university graduation, I worked in as legal advisor in crypto environment, and most of the time, the thing was legal systems are generally overburdened with paper-based processes, and they have lackluster transparency. Therefore, existing proceedings now are time-consuming, and also they are heavily reliant on physical presence. So legal resources are costly and not often accessible to every people. Basically, for the Web3, generally the disputes has a very specific kind of nature. So basically, traditional legal system has no understanding of that. They don't have understanding of Web3 NFTs, and therefore, even for the Web3, we need a system or mechanism that is fast, transparent, it's centralized, and it's affordable and accessible. So that's what was actually the reason behind making Metacourt to benefit from blockchain and the blockchain and Metaverse in order to have a immersive environment that could take care of people's needs. Krishan, if you have something to add, just add.
In general, I can actually follow up the story that Muhammad explained, and more or less actually to stay in the line with some of my comments that I addressed to you, Alex. The problem is actually Muhammad and me, saw the problems in implementation of, traditional legal methodology, and how actually the law will be applied in newly born realities. These kind of the realities, first of all, actually relates to use of the new technologies. And, we really, several years ago, when we were PhD students, because I don't know whether you understood, but Muhammad and me met each other at Bologna University. We were actually some sort of the colleagues, and we started our PhD in 2013, and we just, in that period, we, expressed our interest in, let's say, crypto, blockchain, and so on. But, at that moment, we was quite, sure that what we are doing, learning, and so on, cannot actually, solve many kind of the commercial and not only commercial relations. So that's the reason why actually we started thinking about how to deal with all these things. Metaverse is actually the challenge per se. And our idea, the challenge per se is the fact that, this kind of the ideal of justice and principle of justice is, far and far away from, ordinary user, person, customer, natural person. The fact is, on one side, that, there are more and more regulation, and, we are over-regulated, and we have more and more challenges about how to implement the law in practice. So we don't want to reinvent the wheel. But yes, we would like to actually offer the new methodology for implementation of law in some kind of the new ecosystem. That's actually very simply what the Metacourt really is. So as Muhammad really explained, it's actually a decentralized system that is based on some sort of the dispute resolution, on decentralized dispute resolution. where actually independent, let's say, arbitrators will be involved and delegated to solve any kind of potential conflict that was derogated from traditional judicial institution to Metacourt. In other words, Metacourt is nothing different from the very legally perspective than arbitration. But arbitration that has its own mechanism that is effective, affordable, and accessible for any kind of dispute resolution in the metaverse. So this is, in very brief, abstract, not very specifically, technically detailed manner, explanation what really Metacourt is.
So basically, just to have it right, Dusan. For example, I have made a contract with Fares. Fares needs to buy me a car from the UK. He lives in the UK. We made a contract. Let's me or Fares break this contract. Now we have to hire specific lawyers. He has to hire a lawyer in Romania. I have to hire a lawyer in UK. It will bankrupt us, right? The costs and the fees to get this done and sorted will cost us a fortune, an arm and a leg, right? So basically then me and Fares say, okay, dude, we need some sort of an arbitrage or a mediator to help us take an agreement. Okay, you lost some time, I lost some time. Let's find an arbitrage system where both of us can get out of this legal, let's say, struggle and still be friends, right? And then we can go on the Metacourt where you have, let's say, professionals working in the field, right? Including your team, but also others that will arbitrage and mediate our legal dispute. And at the end of the day, both parties will be happy. This way, we will cut down on the costs. It will be much faster. It will be much cheaper. And at the end, maybe we're still friends. Did I understood it correctly?
Yes, but just to observe what you say. Okay, you're the potential seller, Fire. How you call him? I don't know. Let's say,
yes.
Fire. Okay, decided actually, he decided to sell you the car. Okay, at the very beginning, you can decide actually to, let's say that, having this kind of the contractual provision that in a case of dispute, the Metacourt will be actually, the appropriate forum for solving this kind of the dispute. That is actually typical, let's say, mechanism how arbitrations actually are engaged. Then, if some kind of let's say, you're in this particular case that you mentioned, you would like to sell something that is quite tangible good, car. Okay, but what our primary focus is? What might be the case with the digital assets that might be the subjects of the trade in ecosystems such as metaverses, and not only the metaverse, but today you have a lot of disputes on the digital assets in virtual environment. And okay, when we are talking about car, probably maybe I don't know, maybe you will buy a car for 10,000 euros or 20 or 100,000. I have no idea, but it is quite valuable. So maybe you will be, you'll think, okay, let's engage the lawyers. But, the disputes, very often disputes, the prevalence of the disputes are about the things that cost few pounds, few dozens of pounds, when, engagement of the lawyers, it's, has no actually any kind of the purpose, because providing the legal service is a very expensive. And last but not least, when we are talking about the trade and any kind of the, let's say, contractual or commercial relation within the virtual environment, it is very difficult to determine the territorial jurisdiction of competent court. You're in Romania, the guy who would like to buy some kind of the, let's say, digital sword for some game is based in Japan, or I have no idea. Okay, what is the competent court in a case of dispute? You have no idea. And your sword maybe cost or your digital car only, I don't know, few dozens of euros. Okay, you will not engage the lawyers. And last but not least, you will spend who knows how many hours, actually, your lawyer, legal representative, and that costs the money. So the largest portion of disputes, people will
maybe I should add some part. Basically, Metacourt offer arbitration, but how we want to change the world, how we want to disrupt the legal industry. The thing is that now people are saying, no, Metacourt decision or arbitration decision are going to be enforced. But the thing is that we want to introduce a new mechanism that don't need enforced because it has self-execute a smart contract. In our Metacourt on-chain arbitration, we are using Metaverse and blockchain, we are using privacy, security rule, we are using game, which means that the panelists need to stake money from the network or core token, and if they are majority, they get like arbitration fee, but if they are minority, they lose portion. So this is the game theory, and basically we are using economically incentivized voting. In this method, we are using self-execute arbitration outcome using a smart contract to make Metacourt arbitration panel eligible for release of digital assets from party escrow or transfer on to original value. Imagine there is a Web3 platform for freelancers. Sarah ordered a logo from John, and they are using our Metacourt escrow payment system. Sarah will lock the money, ask John to work on logo. After 2 days, John presents the logo, and Sarah is not happy and want to challenge and ask the money to return to his account. In the system, there is an escrow. So basically, if the Metacourt is on-chain creator or arbitrator, due to smart contract and algorithmic design, when we have the right to order the transfer of the money to the original person or transfer to the opposite person. That's all.
Guys, this is this idea that you have. This is interesting. You know, I have been in the crypto world for not that much, but quite enough. And your idea, it's not only practical but unique. So it's going to be interesting because actually you're changing the whole game. And now after Dushan and Mohammed said a few things, now I can understand a little bit better on what you're trying to create. And indeed, it has a high chance of changing, you know, everything in that legal purpose.
Yeah, that is before the code was law, but Metacourt, the law is code. You know, we are not having lex mercatoria or legal conventional. It's like lex cryptography. A smart contract is the law. A smart contract enforcement itself. So no one can change enforcement. The Metacourt has enforcement itself. But if, for example, user is not going to use from the escrow, in that case, we're going to use Metacourt decision compatible New York Convention enforcement of arbitral awards that has some certain requirements that nowadays we are trying to be compatible with that one. In case if someone didn't use escrow but still want to use from blockchain-based arbitration, may use this.
I see. Okay, we are still having difficulties in hear you, Mohammed. Maybe you should close some of the other internet software that you have on the laptop in order to increase the quality of your network. Now, guys, every time our team comes up with these questions, the team has a very good, let's say, feedback when it comes down to asking questions or, you know, getting more information about the project. We have some questions over here. Some of them, they will be put live. Some of them, I have written them down. And unfortunately, some of them you guys already answered. For example, what is the current problem in the current legal process flow? I'm pretty sure you guys explained what is the problem and how your idea and project will, let's say, destroy that problem. The next question will be, what is Metacourt mission statement? We have seen, we have identified the specific thing on your website. Maybe you can give us a little bit more. Yeah.
Just I will try to be, very simple and, to deprive you from some kind of the legalese and opaque and difficult legal language. But our actually idea is to connect on one side, let's say, legal resources with proven blockchain and digital dispute expertise, across the globe in order to, in this kind of the virtual reality, to use some sort of gamification and interactive platform in order to make it affordable and accessible at the end of the day. That is, in other words, actually make affordable and accessible justice to people who feel that they are dealing with injustice.
I see.
This is very, mission statement, visionary statement, but, we can actually go in more specific details if, further.
Yes, of course, we have a lot of questions. Thank you for answering that.
Yeah.
What is the on-chain dispute resolution?
Okay. Go on.
Yeah. Okay. Basically, Metacourt is based on learn and learn approach, and it's arbitrary to knowledge is assessed and rated routinely. Basically, Metacourt, a specialized panel of arbitrators, are picked from pool of lawyers, legal engineers, and experts that are verified from knowledge perspective. So basically, offering an affordable arbitration with the capacity to enforce disputes on chain, escrow or other smart contract tools that allow parties of a smart contract to self-execute their disputes and choose Metacourt as the dispute resolution method is kind of on-chain dispute resolution. If Dusan has something he may contribute.
Well, as Muhammad actually said, on-chain dispute resolution is, let's say the system based on learn and learn approach, and the system that utilizes the arbitrator's knowledge, that is previously assessed by relevant forum and relevant evaluators, and that is of course routinely updated. So Metacourt has, and we're still developing also the specialized panels of arbitrators picked from our pool of lawyers, but also we are getting in different collaboration with networks of lawyers, but also legal engineers and experts that are, let's say, that we trust, or we say whose knowledge is quite verified. And we are trying to, in contrary to traditional legal arbitration, as I mentioned, offer something that is affordable, but quite professional. The standards, that we are striving toward is, are very high. Why? Because we would like really to increase the trust among this methodology of dispute resolution. And that is actually in short about, let's say, on-chain dispute resolution, from very general manner, without explaining some kind of the technical details.
Interesting, guys. Now, at the end of the day, this is a very common question in the crypto world. What is the main utility of your token, and especially what is the revenue stream, or maybe, how will you guys make money out of this in order to sustain the project and, of course, to evolve?
Okay. Generally, Metacourt's main utility is an efficient, reliable, fast, decentralized dispute resolution mechanism that effectively enforced by smart contracts in the rapid evolving digital economy in the form of escrow or other payment tools. But regarding the most important question, how we make money, or basically how we are like dealing with the business model. Metacourt main utility is arbitration service that is like our main source of like income in case of utility. An NFT ecosystem based on our Metaverse that is consisted around 500 land plots, suites, or queues, digital spaces for law department or law firms or law enthusiasts around the world. So basically selling NFT and having a marketplace is another source of income. Also, we have a 5% of royalty for any NFTs, a secondary sales. So apart from that, we have a tokenomics consisted of 1 billion tokens on Solana. The name is core tokens, and basically majority of these tokens are reserved at our treasury to be used in project for development, marketing, and expansion of Metacourt and increasing utility. Again, like an escrow payment system, whoever who use from our escrow directly, or who use from our escrow who is, or that is integrated other Web3 like have received like a commission. Also, our learn and earn system, we have some sort of first like meta laws that we are offering education hour to people who don't understand Web3, but they want to get educated on Web3, and then they want to have a chance to have some income. So basically, that's they use from the education parts, and these are the way we have like revenue channels, and our business model are mainly commission and also the commission fee for royalties or direct sell of token NFTs. That's the whole idea.
Just I would like to summarize, what
Yes,
actually.
I would. Yes, that's great.
He actually told a lot of things, but unfortunately, due to
bullet points.
Yes. Due to quite bad internet connection on his side, maybe people didn't hear well. Just again, to just simplify, concerning our revenue, our great, business model, concerning the revenue, first of all includes arbitration service. So that is, the first thing, because, Metacourt in core as some sort of the dispute resolution center has its own dispute resolution, so arbitration service. Then also we also plan to design, let's say, custom Metaverse environments, arbitration service for, let's say, your company would like to have its own arbitration service, this, some sort of the, let's say, dispute resolution, or some other company. And we really believe that companies will will start developing its own system, for instance, Meta, Google, etc., because they do not have it at the moment. And in particular for Web3, users. That's actually, our arbitration service, and second, having a custom, a Metaverse arbitration service. That's the second thing. The third one is actually about token sales. We will have our, let's say, escort as token that would be, let's say, we have well-developed, tokenomics, but I don't want to get now in details about this. The token sales and tokenomics is something that actually bring the third, let's say, source of our revenues. Then Metacourt, as I mentioned, is the core, is the dispute resolution. But Metacourt has additional, on these services that actually are embedded in these, let's call it, legal in Metaverse. So actually,
There we go.
yeah, just in this moment, Lisa starts to join the list of mail. Actually, thank you. That the then the additional source is about actually selling and lending the land plots in this environment in the metaverse. So metaverse is also created as is perceived as one place where the other companies will come and start developing their own business, other legal companies, law firms, and so on. The architecture of this world, Metacourt, is under developing phase, but to very high extent already developed. So the companies will be able to come and actually buy the land plots and so on. Additional source is about the meta law and meta education. Meta education we actually perceive as some sort of the, let's say, educational platform, because at the very beginning we started our story with some sort of, let's say, skepticism about traditional implementation of traditional and conventional law. One of the reasons is inappropriate way of education. We also would like to offer to lawyers or to not, non-legal persons, some kind of the informal education for the beginning. We don't know what will be actually the ultimate outcome in 5 or 10 years, but we really think that education is really needed, for new, let's say, newborn realities such as the metaverse. So educational platforms and is the new source, one another source of our revenues. And I think, if I remember well, that, I hit the all bullet points concerning, our revenue.
Now, Dusan, this morning, I had a call with the team members here at Heritage Network, and we discussed a little bit about your project. And we pulled out some analysis. A guy, let's say me, for example, I usually pay from my whole revenue in a year. I pay around from 2 up to 3% of my total income to legal services. I have a friend who is a very rich guy. He pays around 5 to 6%, right? The more money you have in your life, the higher the legal fees are. Legal fees are everywhere where you go. Now, you guys have everything. You have the team, highly experienced. It might be the most experienced team in this particular field. You have a unique idea. Now, you have a specific cherry on top, and I think people will like a little bit of more excitement. I would like you to tell me what is the cherry on the top, if you know what I mean. The thing that other crypto projects are dreaming of, including ourselves and everyone maybe. So what is the cherry on the top, and how will you make it work?
Mohammed, would you like to answer this, or just I do that instead of you?
You can do it instead if Mohammed is not. I can tell it too, but I wanted to hear from you.
The cherry on the top, will be, from my point of view, is actually, our totally, quite novel and innovative approach towards something that is literally in front of our nose as a problem. We offer this kind of the very simple solution to actually solve something that, many deals with. So this is, if we actually make this, as I mentioned before, justice, affordable, accessible to everybody, that is something that creates and opens enormous chances, for changing the methodology of law implementation, and at the end of the day, even changing the system of regulation in contemporary world.
That is absolute true. I'm referring maybe to the second cherry on top, to the fact that one of the biggest companies in the world and one of the biggest venture capital investment companies we have some sort of a connection with. If possible, if you could tell us a little bit about that.
Yes. Okay. This is quite specific. It is a word about our cooperation, actually, with IBM, I guess.
There you go.
That is actually one another story. Since let's say October this year, we were admitted to IBA program that provides us technological credit for use their technology for 1 + 1 year. So we are formally recognized by IBM Hyper Protect Accelerator. So for sure next year we will be supported in a technological sense by them. Friend plus 1 more year. In the meantime, we have been, monitored also with them, advise them concerning, let's say, preparation of our business idea, modifications, and so on. And last but not least, we will be offered to the Village Capital, to different investors, and let's see what would be the, as the outcome of this quite specific and quite interesting cooperation.
That is something only a crypto project will dream of, to be in this type of accelerator. I believe you guys have already received a specific grant, if I'm not wrong.
Yes,
a certain amount.
Basically, we are joining IBM. When you are awarded the program, you are eligible to receive 120,000 USD in the form of cloud credit. So also, Village Capital is a venture fund. It has 270 investors as a partners that connect the accelerator startups to them. And even now, like tomorrow, we have started working on our deal book and term sheet. So they had experience of investing up to 5 million in the startups that they were in program. So apart from that, we have already reviewed some launchpads and some VCs for this month. For every month, at least we will be in one launchpad. And also we are picking up with different venture funds to raise up to 4.6 million. That is our cash already next 2 years that we have planned to raise.
That's great. So it's possible, not quite possible. It's possible that you will get more backing and more support from this accelerator program, right?
Definitely, because it's like the different. For example, every week we have different investors that we pitch to them. So basically, it's pool of investors. There's no limitation. As much as equity, token, and share you have that to develop for investors. It's also the first 3-month event is called Investment Readiness Program. So basically what we are working in first months is make Metacourt a solid business to get investment. The first 3 months goal of the program, and that's how we are in the project. And also financing, honestly, always the least a concerned issue for us, considering the project utility. But this we are reaching to Launchpad for them because the Launchpad makes community. And we think after this all problems in industry, after many work pools, after bad bearish market, and now after FTX, people want to have a safe investment journey in Web3. And therefore, there should be project with real use case that the way for mass to adoption of Metaverse and blockchain. And I hope so that Metacourt is going to be among the project that is going to have a sustainable digital assets.
Yes, and I see your project, beating any type of bear market or instability, because as I said, legal services, they're all everywhere, no matter how let's say the market is. This is good, being in this particular IBM Hyper Project Accelerator. This is a dream for most of the crypto projects, and I know there it's very hard to get there. As I've heard, you guys had to prepare a lot of legal stuff, which you're good, but you are required to bring something unique, new, which can be scalable, and it can last for years and not months. So I'm pretty sure that their due diligence was made, crystal clear, and I believe you guys will have a lot of success. Now, I have more than one question. I have a lot of questions, but you know what? I'm gonna give the opportunity to the community to either ask a question live or type in the question inside the English chat. So if there is someone that would like to ask a question, go live, or you can type in on the English chat. Let's give it a few more moments. Oh, here is Mr. McAvey.
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
We are very proud to have you here, guys. And me as a legal professional, I'm very excited to be an endorser, a backer of this project. So I have two questions for you. Can you go deeper into the tokenomics of your project, because our community want to know the business model they are investing in? They want to know the price of the token, the cliffs, the vesting period, and so on. And the second one is related to, let's say, the networking and the marketing. Do you have any plan to catalyze this niche Web3 legal community? We have a lot of mutual friends like Oliver Scherenberg, which in my humble opinion is the GOAT, is the biggest name in Web3 legal field in Europe. Maybe Alexa Mil. By the way, she is a Serbian lawyer living in Brussels. In the United States, Mike Kasdan, Mitch Johnson, and so on. Do you have any plan to convince these guys to invest in Metacourt? Thank you. I think there is a lot. Thank you so much.
May I start from the second question? I hope Mohammed will go more deeply in tokenomics. About the plans for actually extend the expert network. We not only they have a plans, we are already working on expanding the network wise. You already mentioned some of the names, and we are in a regular contact with some of the names, and I think that very soon some of them that are very actually famous and prominent in this domain will join us. And not only these names, but also the networks they are developing around themselves. This is some people think that this would be necessary for marketing purpose, but I would really go and beyond marketing purpose. I found quite important to having a really highly rated professionals, because this is important not only for trust building, but for expert evaluation of arbitrators that would be the part of on-chain dispute resolution. You really need lawyers of the high quality, with a high reputation and high level knowledge. So, that is the main reason why we would like to expect our expert network and to include as much as possible prominent and high quality lawyers in our network. Later on, that would become as a marketing, of course, as some sort of our promotion. But very important thing is to actually create something that is on a very high quality, and in our domain, that might be the case only if you have a high quality people around yourself. About the tokenomics and going in depth on this, Mohammed, may you actually provide more details?
Yes. Regarding the tokenomics, as we all know, the success of Web3 project heavily dependent on a solid and multi-dimensional tokenomics. From the beginning, we wanted to have a very unique and new concept of tokenomics that makes a real community-driven project. So we are seeing Metacourt as a DAO or decentralized autonomous organization that is governed by a community of enthusiasts of law, intersection of law and technology. So basically, there would be 1 million tokens, tokens on Solana as like different categories for different purposes. But basically, the biggest category is like for the DAO treasury that is like reserved for the good and for having a sustainable project. But regarding the tools and the way we are going to have unlocking the tokens, generally the TG or token generation event for us was made that our smart contract for token was generated on Solana blockchain. So in that time, we started our pre-seed. The pre-seed had 24 months of vesting. That the first 18 months had a cliff at the end of the 18 months, and more 6 months was kind of linear way. So also that started May. For the seed part that we are currently this stage, for this part we are going to have an 18 months vesting starting from TGE May. So with having a cliff at the end of 12 months and having a linear by block approach for the next 6 months to form it as an 8 months. So we have like some sort of community-driven tools that we call it algorithmic revenue share with community. So basically, it's called like MCVP or Metacourt Power, because as part of like a Web3 DAO, a portion of our incomes is distributed back to community. So we are doing this as a really DAO or community-driven project that cares to its consumer, its community members. So basically, this is the whole image of our tokenomics that is subject to DAO discretion for future allotment, like for market development or any sort of thing that DAO will decide. But regarding your question on partnership and marketing, so marketing generally for us means a lot, and currently we're mainly focused on inbound marketing and spreading our voice, but we are going to have an exclusive agreement with the famous Eastern marketing agency to help us for our expansion panel and building our community. And because to us, the most important thing is have a real community of people that care to project and never deprive us from their life and their comments, their feedback on projects. So that's the main answer. Regarding the question of the Web3 lawyers, we are distorting law. Legal industries, conventionally, as we all know, is conservative, not tech-friendly. So basically, disruption in this industry is hard. So if there is a minority of people in this industry that have understanding of law and blockchain, they should really get much more better than other people what Metacourt is going to do. And when Metacourt that we want to build an environment that the code is low, we should get the point where it clearly much more better than others. So we really expect them to establish and support the project. I mean, financially or intellectually in both cases, because we want to build future of justice, but we are, a group of people dedicated and very hardworking as we consider ourselves. But the thing is that with the support of community and experts, so we are not going to stay here long. So that's the answer to your questions.
So just to confirm here, the vesting schedule is 18 months. Did I hear it right?
Yes, 18 months that started the period generally that starts from TGE, that is May 2022.
Okay, so you have 18 months vesting.
Yes.
This is good because most of our community members really like a project where there is a lot of vesting involved, meaning it will create stability and it will have time to grow. Meanwhile, their investment will grow as well. So this is a good thing.
Exactly. And we really expect our community to understand us that we really don't want to be a rock project or a project that want to make rich. We believe in the real philosophy of blockchain that is make the stuff more efficient. And by making the law industry more efficient, yeah, it's possible that it's going to bring lots of profit to the doctors, but we want to have support of our community to see the project a sustainable way of building a product.
Okay, that's good. Now, I wanted to ask you the differences in regards to the pricing. I mean, a lot of our community members here at Heritage Network are, let me open the camera because I closed my camera for some reason. Because of your internet. Most of our community members here at Heritage Network, they really want to buy on the lowest price possible. So could you please provide us with the pricing for every step that you have? For example, seed sale, pre-sale, and listing pricing. What are we looking at?
Okay, a very good question. Regarding the pricing, always we wanted to have a really, understandable agenda of pricing. Basically, we start pricing by 0.005 USD. That was our pre-seed, price back in April 2020 that we terminated the raising period. And now our projected price for the seed A was 0.009. But honestly, as you asked, that Harry, the community members should have a special price rather than the normal one. We are going to give the first pool of 40K with the $0.008. But after that, for the other step, for the seed B or for the next steps, we are going to have different of pricing. It would be 0.2 cents or 2 cents, 4 cents, 5 cents, and that would be the moment that we're going to have the public sale stuff like IEO or IDO that we think that it's going to be at the starting point would be 8 cents.
Okay. So, if possible, if you could write this down on our English group, just for the people to know, because I had.
We really prepared a detailed taxonomy for our community. Honestly, pricing depends in many things, and that was intention that we didn't want to publicly say how much it's going to be, but we already had a picture that says all steps till 5 cents. That is the IPO phase. But for the IPO, we have planned to start it from 8 cents. So basically, you're going to send tomorrow in the Parity English group and also Metacourt English group for users to just see the agenda of our price in the near future.
Yeah. Anyways, our community can see the pricing in the seed page as well. Okay, I have some other questions here from our community members. Why Solana? Why did you choose Solana to be your native blockchain?
My colleague Maziar will first introduce himself because we had a chance, and then he will explain about this.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Maziar. I started as front-end developer when I was 16 years old. But a few years later, I became interested in backend, DevOps, and platform engineering. And the last 5 years, I was mainly interested in focusing on legal and smart contract development. Currently, I'm responsible and in charge of the tech department of Metacourt. So, for answering your question, Solana is more scalable. The idea of separation of data and the logic leads parallel transactions. That means transactions won't stuck behind each other. Solana has low gas cost, and Solana is support around 65,000 transactions or requests per second, handling requests per second. As we all know, being multi-chain is made to be more accessible to Web3 users on different networks. Currently, we have to plan in our R&D, and we are considering some network for future integration.
Yeah, Mazar, I'm not sure if I fully can understand. I can fully understand what you're saying. The only part I have had the chance to hear is that Solana offers fast transaction and it covers, let's say, good ground when it comes to metaverse technology and ideas. I have real trouble in hearing you, and I believe so as our communities from what they say over here. So basically, Solana is a very good blockchain. I know it myself. It is, let's say, some of the people say that Solana will lead the way towards NFTs and metaverse projects. I truly believe that, and I want to congratulate you for taking this decision to go on Solana and not on the classical Ethereum, which everyone knows about it. So it is a good option, in my opinion. Even though Solana has some stuff to improve, but it is a very scalable blockchain. And from what you guys have, it's the perfect blockchain that your metaverse can run on. I'm gonna take 2 more questions. We're gonna do another AMA most probably. Hopefully, you guys will have a little bit better internet, because I feel you have a lot to speak about, and I could see your passion and dedication. I can feel it from thousands of miles away. You're really interesting people. I'm gonna grab 2 more questions, and then I will put these questions. I will forward these questions, and maybe our community members can go on your Telegram channel and ask them. Let me see, what do you have? When will the DEX or checks listing will be? Based on your roadmap?
Okay. Basically, major listing, let's say, 2 listing is going to happen in quarter 1 and 2 of 2023.
Are you guys in discussion with any checks so far where you're because I know a lot of
Yes,
projects
yeah.
that
Basically, I was in a direct contact with KuCoin, OKX, and also B2. That was this month, the last month. I mean, negotiation. Also, before that, we negotiated with X.com as well. But we reached to some Solana native. I mean. Arbitrum, for example. And so basically, real thing, we do not believe in listing with high fees because we believe we have a impact-driven project. So basically, we are going to have a periodical process of listing in tier 3, tier 2, 1, and at the end of the day, for every Web3 project, Binance is like ultimate. So basically, we are going to organize everything to these to the beginning of 2024 if we are successful here.
That's great. That's really great. It's a good thing that you guys are, checking a lot of centralized exchanges because you know what happened to the FTX, and you should be very careful. And you guys are lawyers. I want to ask you guys in the community now if there are any live questions. I will give you 1 minute. If not, I will go ahead and I will answer. I will read another question. So any live questions that you might have? Yeah.
Yes. Hi. I have a question. Are there similar projects like this? You have any competition?
Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah. Actually, there are similar projects, but concerning our main competitors are Your and Kleros. But concerning actually our features, actually, I think we are taking it much in advantage than they are. First of all, Kleros and Your are not specifically dedicated to Metaverse. Second, we are also developing NFT ecosystem. That's not the case with Your and Kleros. Game theory trust is the common feature for all three, Metacourt, Kleros, and Your. We are developing anonymized ODR. So that as I mentioned, I'm a lawyer who works in the data protection field, and privacy by design is my passion and not my passion. So Metacourt and Kleros, they are working on anonymization techniques, and that's not the case at the moment with Your. Then we are also based on DIO and revenue share, and that's not the case with our competitors. We are thinking and working on meta convention that is some kind of a specific set of the regulation that would be used for dispute resolution. One of our competitors is planning to do so. It's Your, and that's not the case with Kleros. Learn and earn a strategy, and escrow, it's just feature of the Metacourt. So yes, we have it, some sort of the competition, but concerning the state of development, definitely we are in advance to one competitor, and concerning the plans and general features, definitely we are in we are much progressing that it is the case with another competitor.
And they're not in the IBM Accelerator Program, right?
Apart from that, yeah, these are just the main, what I told you, just the main, features of the, service that we would like to provide. Apart from, business development and so on, that's another thing.
I'm going to take one more question live if someone wants to ask a live question. If not, I will read the last question. Sorry, I know there are a lot of questions here. Some of them are really interesting. I think, if possible, if the Metacourt team is okay, we're going to do another AMA. And I'm thinking about something new. They might maybe we'll probably make a contest with questions. And maybe the CEO and you, Dusan, Mohammed and you, Dushan, you can record yourself, and we can do something fun like a video, and we're going to reward inherited tokens, and I think that will work too. So I'm going to read the last question. Let's see an interesting question here. When can we see a 2 or a 3x? Any chances? I don't know if these guys will make any price predictions, X2 or X3 in the pricing. What I would say, as a crypto analyst, by the way, it is a good project. It has a high chances of being a very well-known project. It will have a lot of exposure, and there are chances, of course, why not? I think these guys will not give you a straight answer, but yeah, if you want to go for it, guys, I'm pretty sure you'll give a big disclaimer and you'll throw some legal words.
Honestly, I mean, there wouldn't be any promises, but honestly, most of the Metacourt team are coming from, team members are coming from, I mean, minimum or low-wage families, you know, so we really understand and realize the situation. We know how hard people work. They want to invest in Web3 and they want to, I mean, the Web3 democratize access to some sort of investment. So we want to be benefit from the investment. And that's our, I mean, it's a game theory. That's, I mean, how we want to be successful too. So basically what we can promise, doing our best, working hard, sometimes 24/7 for the sake of project and the community. So in this case, you have my words, and every project who has real utility, who really solves the problem, and has a dedicated, I mean, hardworking team with a decent support from community and backers, partners, may reach to even bigger goals. But it isn't a promise, but we definitely will do our best.
That's a good answer. Very good answer, actually, guys. This is the end of our AMA. You have been great. I know we had some network problems. I think we will do a second AMA, and I'm not sure if my colleagues, I know they will help me because I will give them a little bit more work. I was thinking to have a contest where members of our community will give out questions to you guys, and you guys can record yourselves without any network interference, and you can reply to them, and the best, let's say 2, 3, 4 questions will win a certain prize in the Heritage token. So I think we can make it exciting and easy for you and easy for us, but my colleagues will have a lot of work to do. So that's it for this evening. Thank you so much. A very interesting project in which Mr. McAvey is an official backer. So if he's in, I'm in as well. Tomorrow at 6 p.m. UTC, we will open the seed sale. The parity is you need to have $15 in Heritage Network. So the ratio has been increased, $15 in Heritage Network token in order to purchase at least $100 in the Metacourt token. You just need to pass the KYC. Make sure you have a couple of dollars in BNB Smart Chain for fees. Make sure to have the Heritage token as well as BUSD on the BEP20 Smart Chain network, and you can make your investment directly on our platform. Thank you, gentlemen, for this wonderful project. I am honored. And,
thank you so much. And
looking forward.
I do apologize for the network for internet inconvenience. I am personally available for any sort of question. I'm so sorry.
Yes, of course. If you have any questions regarding the project, make sure to follow the pin message. There will be a link towards the Metacourt Telegram channel, and these guys are up most of the 24/7 days, so throughout the week. So don't worry about the timing. See you soon, guys. Thank you for this wonderful evening, and catch you guys later. Thank you.
Thank you.
Once again.
See you soon. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Bye bye.